Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. You know what it is. We here now. Y'all know what it is. You know what we here for. My man 20 Twin in the building. Steve in the building. Agent 9 in the building. Michelle Frizzy in the building. You already know, man. Early. In the words of Freeway, early. Choke no joke, man. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Choke no joke. You know what it is. Learn from mistakes out right now on all platforms. This one right here is for the mixtape. Let's go. Yo, Nas, I ain't do this for clout. I'm just a real nigga trying to figure you out. How you don't put blood in this Judas mouth. Talking Japanese wine like you fanning out. Blushing at this bitch that disrespects your kid and her earth. Carmen, I know that it hurt.
You know, back then when he made these disparaging remarks and comments about my daughter and created this disgusting visual, there were so many people around him that stayed quiet. They said absolutely nothing.
Carmen, I know that it hurt. You said Pac left us. When rappers that wink at other rappers in the studio, which made me think, yo, what he got on you? And homie in pink, cause at Webster Hall, he didn't stream one link. Yo, y'all glutton for punishment. I'm sick and I'm done with it. If it was part of your plan, Nas, hard my word on it, I'm just your fan. With little celebrity, some say it's just the hate in me. Nah, I'm cut from a cloth. You don't brush shit off. Well, the penthouse of law. Gotta have a ceiling, only forgive hoes with sexual healing. And that thought right now is not appealing. With these chicks, with the dicks like Little Nas X, I'm not a fan. You damaged your brand. Yo, Nas, don't ever do that shit again. I'm signing off. Esco stand. Yeah. Choke no joke, you know what it is. You know what it is. Oh yeah, and you nigga, I ain't sorry for shit. I ain't with your boys' games, nigga, I'm with the shit. Wedge. Webster Dictionary defines the word as a substance that is used for splitting wood or rocks. Something causing a breach or separation. It's funny what that lens can capture. Separation, division.
How y'all having a meeting about Jay without? Nope, not drawers right there. Nobody told me nothing. How come y'all having a meeting without Jay? Without Jay? Without? I don't get it. It's 10:30 in the morning. Now you going to get Leo? Please go get it.
No, actually, I was just gonna go to the restroom. Okay.
So why are you leaving? I'm asking a question.
She doesn't have an answer.
Well, I'm wondering what line of thought is it, what pattern is it, John McNeely and all of y'all, that y'all have my biggest artists here, and y'all in here, y'all Def Jam staff is dealing with Jay's marketing without me. Please explain that to me, because this seems treacherous.
And animosity.
What you mean bullshit? The fuck? Y'all niggas having meetings about my artists without calling me? It ain't no bullshit. It ain't no bullshit. And look, oh y'all look, everybody here is ashamed of y'all. Who wants to work under a cow?
They don't have to.
Cow!
I ain't with your boys' games, nigga, I'm with the shit. I'm nothing like Nas, I'm with the shit. I'm more like Jungle, wanting to bust your shit. But bro got me on chill. He said I'm Lvmpd, with the static, with the ratchets. Let's go to Brooklyn, cause he gotta have it. School days, would've called you faggot and smoked you like a Spike Lee joint. Yo, the greatest of all timers, got hit with all timers. You buster, nigga, your mic with the shiner. Knockout. Yeah, one-liners, give you a reason to be a one-eye without reasonable doubt. You been a liar. You headache came, Jazzo inspired, rape Damon.
So they trying to take our franchise from. That's what they're trying to do. Make this beef with. They trying to. I bet you they're staging this beef with us. Trust me. Trust me.
It was all about the power to, you know, to get rid of Dame Dash, you know, and take Jay-Z to the next level without Dame, you know. And it was, you know, Dame should stop blaming Leo and Todd Moskowitz and start blaming Steve Stout.
You know about the Scarface party and all that? How they make sure Power Song in Puerto Rico? He's gonna be there performing, but they're doing something with them.
Who, Jay?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's gonna be out there for that. With the release of the Scarface DVD.
Jay's performing for that?
And I don't need two lips to blow this like a trumpet, you dumb shit. This is an unusual musical. I conducted you looking at the black Warren Buffett, so all critics conduct sick. I don't care if you see Dolores Tucker or you Bill O'Reilly. You only rallied me up for 3 years. They had me peeing out in the cup. Now they about to free me up. What you think I'm gonna be? What? Rehabilitated? Man, I still feel hatred. I'm young, black, and rich, so they wanna strip me naked. But you never had me like Christina Aguilera, but catch me at the West Side driving like Halle Berry or the West. Fuck it. Peace and love, y'all. The black album on the way.
And then we doing our party, so.
Stop taping.
Following Steve Stout's direction.
And what was Steve Stout telling you to do?
He walked me through how to get rid. His plan was to get rid of Dame Dash.
He told you that.
That was the plan.
Okay.
Rape Dame and Chris, then ran the lion through the rock and the fire. Damn, you cold. Built the nation, the prop back home. How you the king of LA when Cube is home? How you bang in LA after Nip is gone? Mr. Smith, yeah, I'm nice with the gift. Two, the double entendres got those two. Your wisdom, knowledge, that I'm king too. I'm sorry I met the other side of you. Yeah. That's the gift and the curse. I'm Christ from birth, from the hearse to the dirt. Fake niggas claim hurt, so I stay on my bullshit like I'm dirt and never shy. Let my feelings fly. Let's go. Cause we all die. Yeah. Like your beds. Nigga, I'm here. Only fear I have is truth not be told. We all get old. It's choke, no joke. Y'all already know. Let's go. Choke, no joke. You already know. Learn from mistakes out right now on all platforms. This for the mixtape. The 50-year-old platinum virgin. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Welcome to AMC Theater 11. Enjoy your show.
Yo, Lee. Run the rail.
Jay told me in no certain terms that, you know, no rapper can really afford to look bad in front of him. So it's almost like we gotta blackball him.
Shout out to Jay-Z for seeing the big picture here.
Yeah, and it was a hard pill to swallow.
Tariq, you kill the weeds, not the seeds that grow the trees. And as long as you alive, Dame should have a milli. Fuck you mean bleed. Nigga, don't get me started. You know I'm retarded and lion-hearted. You flipped on your peeps for those peoples in them white sheets. Like you pro-black. We pass kneeling, how you shit on cap.
Did you kneel in what you stand?
What I what?
Did you kneel in what you stand?
Okay, I think we passed kneeling.
Nigga, you got the check. The pros went back, and that's no cap. Leaving cap with no salary cap. Your son said you his dad, and you never threw him a pass. Watching his siblings in the stands, say lips, say no, say hands. You say the kid is not your son, they call you Hov, it must be immaculate conception. Immaculate conception. No palm tree, the trees in the palms of dealers and fiends. Late night roam the streets. Weed is weaker, but it's cheaper. Not many chicks frontin' like divas. Out west, every chick's a model like Eva, and you know I'm far from believing her. So I'm G'ing her like she G'ing me. Banging in LA is a different thing. At the end, you either dead on the bang, getting out, doing better things. On Sunset, where they hang. Hollywood, where they hustle for change. Times Square here, it's the same. No matter where you go, you'll find a lane. On the west, they kick it with Kane. On the east, trees the social thing. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. When I'm on the west and I'm doing my thing, don't offer me coke or your nose I bang. Friends don't offer other deadly things. Thanks for the hospitality, we'll still hang. I won't judge you, leave me as I came. On the road to success, top of the game. Eat all the finer things in the food chain. Teach my kids to do the same. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. Gotta love life and offer wonderful things. Being to travel is a privileged thing. Came back to the east, air wasn't fresh. Streets filled with trash, various people in the eye. It's easy to tell who's upper middle class. Police and racism, same as crash. Back to where they not social, where they less vocal. When they don't know you, be careful, show you around the East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, East Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Pop your bottles and toss the cork. If you rap, West Coast. Both coasts are known to give you fame. Got paparazzis playing cameras your way. Got you bobbing and weaving like Cassius Clay. Most thugs turn Muslim in older days. Change their name to Allah they pray. Probably till they decay. This go out to the east and west. For Big and Pac, y'all let's connect. Rather East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. You can't get the West without the ES, so it's manifested that we connect. You know what it is. Choke, no joke, learn from mistakes, baby. You know what it is. Greg on the track. Rest in peace, baby. Either one, we here now. You know what it is. Choke, no joke, smile treatment, you know. Yeah. Choke, no joke, chiggy choke, no joke. Choke, no joke, chiggy choke, no joke. You know what it is. We in the building. We in the building. We in the building. We in the building. Come on in, come on in. Shout out to everybody in the building tonight. If you ain't subscribed to the new channel, Choke No Joke, the Content King, I just dropped the link for you so you can subscribe to the new channel. That's where you're going to get the mashups at over there.
Call from
Ronald Reagan.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Ronald Reagan is dead. Motherfuckers be wanting attention so bad. I see I got to start the blocking on the telephone number. Look, this dumbass trying to call back. Stupid motherfucker. I'm not taking phone calls, so when I see, y'all know when to call. Like, my real good looking, thanks for subscribing. You know, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for subscribing to the new channel, y'all. Tap in with me. So before I get into these transcripts, there's a few things of current events I got to address because I got to stay on top of these things. Now, one of them is, let me see if I can pull this up because I heard about it. I ain't see it. So I don't know if y'all heard about this. Have y'all heard about this? Jason Reels Network. Have I ever thought about performing my music live at a concert? Oh, most definitely. I'm gonna have a show coming up in Texas in November. I'll announce it later once the check clears. But yeah, I'm doing the show in Texas. All right, but I'll give y'all more details on that in a minute. So if you didn't hear, Drake said Friday that he will be stepping away from music for a year longer to focus on his health, in particular recurring issues with his stomach. I probably won't make music for a little bit. I'm going to be honest. The Canadian artist said on Table for One, his radio show on Sirius XM. Now, I'm not doubting that part of him stepping down from music is due to health issues. Because a lot of these dudes, y'all don't be knowing, these niggas be going to get liposuction and all kind of shit that they don't want to go in the gym and work out for. Or walk in the park or hit them benches. Like me, they have this nice body. But I'm willing to bet part of it is probably record sales. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the album a while ago. What was his last album? Let me see. This thing saw a lot of goddamn records. This last album. Oh, honestly, never mind. Which didn't do big. And then he just dropped this album. And this album, nobody's talking about it. And this is probably one of the times in a long time that Drake don't got no goddamn single. He got an album out right now, and A's not dominating the radio. And that's not like Drake. So I think he may have health issues and go and chill for a minute. But I think before it's over for, or he don't chart high. Oh shit, because I don't even think he dropped the album. Let's see if it come in at number one. If it don't come in at number one, the whole Drake formula is about to be out of here. But we do wish you good health, Drake. I'll hold the game down for you till you get back. By the time you come back, they ain't gonna hear that garbage no more. So all you Drake fans, please, send your prayers to the brother. Because he may be, he getting older. So he may be having complications, and with these dudes, and they going to get all this work to try to look good for y'all ladies. And maybe some of y'all guys, because he is painting his nails now. The Dre gravy train maybe had ran out. And Birdman, you was just talking trash about the South running things. You better hope Nicki do great with this new album, Birdman. Because with Drake sitting down, who's going to be your number one artist? Who's going to be your number one artist, Birdman, with Drake sitting down? Better hope Nicki come with that fire. Nicki don't come with that fire. Y'all in trouble over there, Young Money. Drake sitting down. That means a lot of people better get in that studio. Drake, I'm going for your spot, buddy. I want to give me some singing lessons. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to send out these notifications real quick. Instagram, I'm live on YouTube right now. Current events, back to these transcripts in the Keefe D case. Oh boy. Instagram. All right, y'all. I'm still banned from Instagram. Can't go live over there. Okay. Now, outside of Drake, what else was it that I wanted to talk about? Oh, you know, it was a great observation. And then, you know, I don't know, because I didn't get to finish watching the whole episode with Bleak on Drink Champs. Well, isn't it strange? And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but why they didn't talk to Bleak about Casanova? Anybody that run into Bleak and do an interview with Bleak, ask him why he ain't saying free Casanova. Why he ain't keeping his name alive? Why as soon as that nigga got arrested, it was over for him. Like, no more warehouse music talk, nothing. I'm just curious. Dudes always say they keep it real. I don't know, maybe it was the gang affiliation. Niggas want to get away from that. Or he know Jay-Z, like, nigga, you brought that nigga around here and that nigga caught a charge. All right, here's one more story. that is blowing my mind. I don't know how I missed this, but a friend of mine's pulled my code to it. And damn, and this is dated September 26th. I'm so late on this story, man. But I'm pretty much sure a lot of y'all had heard about it. This is something we need to spread the word on. How many of y'all heard about this story? Any of y'all? More than 1,000 kids reported missing in Cleveland. Children are disappearing from northern Ohio in record numbers, with more than 1,000 minors reported missing so far this year. More than 45 children have gone missing in the Cleveland, Akron area this month alone. What? More than 45 children have gone missing in Cleveland and the Akron area this month alone. And in August, there were more than 35 missing minors, according to the Ohio Attorney General's Missing Children website. The disappearances are creating a disturbance trend in northern Ohio, which began in May when nearly 30 children went missing in just the first 2 weeks. "30 children in 2 weeks, bro." "30 children in 2 weeks." Officials at the time called it an extraordinary surge in disappearances. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost repeated on Monday that the number of missing children is alarming, though he claimed the figure may be inflated due to inconsistencies in updated reports, which the Cleveland police have admitted to in the past. "Yes, of course, we are worried about that," he told News 5. Now what we know is when we look behind the numbers, some of those represent repeated runaways, and local police have talked about that. He added that the data for runaway cases, abductions, or sex trafficking is not always entered correctly, as the state deals with a police staffing shortage. Nigga, what the hell that got to do with anything, bro? That's still a lot of people missing. Ayanna Graham, 17, vanished from North Canton. Chloe Hadley disappeared earlier this month. Honesty Howell, 16, was one of more than 45 juveniles who have disappeared in September. Now, I don't know. I'm trying to. Gideon Hefner went missing September from American Township. Cameron, 17, was last seen in Akron. And Elijah, 16, disappeared on September 20th. Tiana Tompkins, 17, was last seen in Cincinnati. Maurice Henrik, 14, is missing. What the fuck, yo? This is crazy, bro. Like, my wheels are spinning like, now either they got a team of people that's probably trafficking kids, or they got some type of serial killer. I'm willing to bet that probably 80% of those kids that's been abducted got led somewhere by social media. Somebody on social media. Because how do you get this many people all in the same age range go missing? Like 30 people in a week is a lot of kids. Wait, how many? What's the numbers on this shit? Because when I'm looking at these kids, and these all look like kids that's old enough and active on social media. A 1,000 kids, man. A 1,000 in 1 year, bro. $45 children in a month in the Cleveland, Akron area. Just Cleveland and Akron area alone this month. 45 children. Bro, that is more than a kid being kidnapped a month, a day. That is a kid being taken away a day. More than one a day. 45 kids is 30 days in a month. 31. And you got 45 kids in one area gone. That's something that I probably would like to work with investigators with, to find that the person that's doing that, or people that's doing that. Because I guarantee you the first place they need to start with is social media. Go check all those kids and see which app they all have in common. That would be my first line of business. If I was investigating this thing, I would go and see which app all those kids was using. And then narrow those apps down and to see how many of them had the same friends. And then narrow that down to them having all the same friends. Or the person that was following all of them or communicating with most of them, that should have narrowed it down to a certain amount of people. And then I would start from right there. "45 kids in Cleveland and Akron in 31 days. You know how many parents is grieving right now in Ohio? And they mayor talking about they got, or who is it? The mayor or the police commission talking about they got a shortage of cops. Y'all got to watch our kids on these social media joints. I seen a joint on Instagram or one of them where this dude was posing as a young dude, and then he would go and tell the parents, like, "Yo, I'm talking to your daughter on social media. She think I'm a young dude. I would like for you to be in on this, and I'm gonna lure her to a place to see if she come." And the mother was like, "My daughter would never do that. She would never do that." He was like, "All right, well, let's see. Are you with it?" She was like, "Yeah." He got the mother to come over to a house or something that he had, and he put the girl's mother in the closet, right? And he started hitting the girl, like, "Yo, come see me, boom, 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 boom." And she never met this man before. Before it was just somebody, it was just somebody that she was following on social media or whatever. And she actually went to go meet this motherfucker and went and she walked in the house and she like, "Oh, is so-and-so here?" They like, "Yeah, they upstairs. Go upstairs." And she don't know these people. She just going through the house, walking upstairs, going through the stairs. And she go to the room and her mother come out and she like, "What you doing here?" And she like, "What the hell you doing here? You don't know these people." And she explains and shit. And the mother was so devastated. She was so devastated that her daughter showed up when she knew better. Like, she knew she raised her daughter better than to go show up to some stranger's house that she met on social media. And when her daughter went in there, her mother was flipping. And the girl's like, yo, like, why you tripping? Like, it ain't nothing. And she don't even understand the severity of what she just did. And the thing that made me think about that is this story with all these thousands of kids, because she's one of those thousand. And she was about the same age, about 17, 15, 16, 17, as these kids that's been abducted. Yeah, I see a few of y'all seen it in the chat. If you have children, somebody said she was 14. If you have children and you just saw that story that I just showed, especially if your ass is in Ohio or anywhere near, sit your kid down, show them that, go over it with them. I'm sure it's video on there, but I ain't want to play it. I'll probably put something together and put it on my the Content King channel. But that's very alarming. If you ain't got kids, then you may not understand. If you ain't got grandkids, you may not understand. But a lot of children these days are engulfed in social media. A lot of them. Like, if you don't tell your kid to put the phone down, they'll be on that shit all day. And they sitting there meeting people that they don't know who's who and what's what, and they don't have your wisdom. They don't have your knowledge, even though they may be smart and know how to work that phone. But when it comes to these sickos out here in this world, they don't have that experience. And that phone is giving them access to all kind of people. You see these crazy motherfuckers calling my phone right now? And they grown folks. I would not be expecting nobody to be watching me, to be childish, to be calling me crank calling. So if me as a grown-ass man at 50 got grown-ass idiots calling my phone, crank calling and stuff, imagine what they would do to your children. You got grandchildren, sit them down. You got children that got children, call them and let them know, yo, you heard about this in Ohio, right? When we send them kids off to the store by themselves, yeah, I know they big enough to go to the store, whatever, with some shit going on. Now, either some aliens out here that abducted children, or we got some sick pedophile or sex trafficking people out here targeting children. And it ain't just white, black. They look all races. They look like they in it's about an age range. It ain't about a color thing. And they looking like from 14 to 17. Please notify your family members. That's it for the current events. Now let's get into the Keefe D trial. Where's my glass at? So next up, we got, well, I got more transcripts too, because they the more came out. So I got even more of the more witnesses that testify. I got those too now. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this and share this video so everybody can tap in.
Let's see where we at. All right, we're gonna start with this guy first. You welcome, Martha. It's crank calling, prank calling, tomato, sneakers, tennis. It depends on where you from, brother. All right, so Leonard Jefferson is the guy that took the last photograph of Tupac. Many of y'all have seen that picture. Okay, I don't have to show it. The picture of him and Suge in the BMW. Right? You know what I noticed? This is how I test people, right? I move moderators around here and there, right? When I take a wrench from somebody and I'll give somebody else a moderator, the people that was moderators before, they stop fucking coming on the show. They ain't in the show no more. They ain't their feelings because they ain't the moderator no more. That's how I know who's real with me and who's not. Because I noticed that the people that I let new people moderate. So the people that was moderating before, now they mad and they don't come in and they ain't on chat. They don't got no love no more. But when they had the wrench, they was in here every day. So you see what fake love is. You know what I'm saying? Fake support is. Now, there's some people that I've gave wrenches and then I'll move them around and they still come in, they still comment, this, that, and other. But as you notice, y'all know the people that had wrenches before and shit. Now you don't see them in here no more. You know, it's the strangest thing where it shows you who really supports you and who don't, right? So some people will come until they can get a wrench and they ask for it, you give it to them, and then if you take it, they don't fuck with you no more. I'm just saying, I'm just very observant. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you've been around and you've been watching, I ain't got to say no names. You know what I mean? But sometimes I go to other people's pages and I see that they moderators on somebody else's page. So it's like I take them off. Go ahead, go over there and be a moderator. Because if me and that person go live at the same time, what you gonna do? So if you're doing it for them, you don't need to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's all in fun. It ain't no fucking real job, and it's just all in fun and support. But it goes to show you how people get in their feelings. And I'm only saying that because I'm looking for certain people, and I don't see them. And when I don't see them, I know what it is. But anyway,
Let's move on. Ha. So Leonard Jefferson has been sworn in. Okay. Good morning, sir. Directing you back to 1996, and specifically the night of the Tyson Seldon fight. Did you come to Las Vegas? Yes, sir. Listen, I know somebody said, nah, Cho, you got rid of some loyal mods, though. Listen, are you loyal mods or are you loyal supporters? There's a difference. If you support me, you support me. But other people support me too. So I move moderate. I let everybody that support get a chance, that want to moderate, that acts to moderate, to moderate. So it ain't no less that I'm not you're not loyal or I'm not loyal to you. But I can't have everybody be a moderator. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? Because people start doing favoritism shit and this, that, and that. So you move them around. Ain't nobody been no day one. If day one is 2006, I've been on YouTube since 2006. Okay? Ain't no day ones. Day one is the fucking tunnel. VHS. That's day one. Okay, Malik? Day one is Keita G. That's the first person I gave a moderator to become a moderator. Keita G is day one. I just don't do the fake shit. That's all. Nigga said loyalty don't mean everything. Okay. You about two more joints from a block. Good morning, sir. Directing you back to the 1996 and specifically the night of the Tyson Seldon fight. Did you come to Las Vegas? Yes, sir. Where were you living back then? What state? You don't have to tell me exactly where. California. And why did you come to Las Vegas that weekend? I was coming for the Tyson fight. And did you come by yourself or with anybody else? I came with another gentleman. Did you ever make it to the MGM that night? Yes, I did. Did you ever make it into the fight? No, I did not. Why not? I sold my ticket. While you were at the MGM, did you see somebody that went by the name or whose name was Tupac Shakur? Yes, I did. And when did you see him? When? Yeah, coming in or going out. Oh, coming in. So you saw Mr. Shakur coming into the MGM for the Bruce Seldon fight? Yes, sir. What did you do after you sold your ticket? I was people watching, just watching, the people come in, just all the different celebrities, different people. And after the fight started, I crossed the street to my hotel. Do you remember what hotel that was? I believe it was back then, it was the Monte Carlo. And did your friend go with you? Yes. Does there come a point in the time, after you leave the MGM when you decide you want to leave the Monte Carlo? And why? Yes. And why did you want to leave the Monte Carlo? I wanted to get something to eat. Objection, leading. You could tell this person already told the story and they just asking the questions to get them through the story. And where did you go? And where are you getting it from? California Pizza Kitchen. California Pizza Kitchen. And did you pre-order it or were you going to drive over there? Yeah, I phoned in my order. After you phoned in your order, did you leave the Monte Carlo? Yes, I did. And what vehicles were you in? I was in my Suburban. Were you alone or Were you alone or did your friend go with you? I was by myself. So after you get into the Suburban, I assume you leave the Monte Carlo. At some point, do you see Mr. Shakur again? Leading, bro. You can tell this motherfucker done told them this story and they just coaching them through it. Yes, I do. And to the best of your recollection, where were you when you saw Mr. Shakur? I was on the Strip, Las Vegas Boulevard. And were you heading northbound? I don't know the direction. Where were you headed? Let me ask you this. So if the Monte Carlo is Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, were you heading in the direction of, let's say, what is it now? The Stratosphere or the Wynn? Yes. So you were heading in that direction. I was heading in the direction that I'm facing now. Okay. Does there come a point in time? Well, where do you see Mr. Shakur? Well, I was driving and I came to a stoplight. Stopped at the light, and while I was stopped, a car rolled up and the wheels really caught my attention. And I looked up and it was Tupac and Suge in the car. And when you saw Tupac and Suge, did you say anything to Mr. Shakur? Yes, I did. And why did you say something to Mr. Shakur? I was just saying hello, what's up to him. I had a conversation with him before in Los Angeles, and I was just saying what's up to him. How did you know, or how did you meet him in Los Angeles? I used to sell cars, and a friend of mine used to work for Death Row. What? Oh my God. This whole shit is a setup, bro. This whole shit is a setup. You can tell that motherfuckers looking at him like, no, nigga, talk about this. We talked about that without even being in the room, just all this stuttering. I used to sell cars, and a friend of mine used to work for Death Row, and I sold cars to a couple of the employees there. And while I was there, sometimes I interacted with him, talked with him maybe 1 or 2 times. So when you said Tupac or, hey, Tupac, did Tupac respond to you? This shit is so leading, bro. This shit is so leading. How this person ain't know if Tupac said what's up to him first? This is how you know this shit is all coached. This shit is all coached. Yeah, he kind of wait. So when you said Tupac or hey Tupac, did Tupac respond to you? Yeah. He kind of looked, kind of paused, and then he recognized me and he said, "Oh, what up, man?" And then I said, "Hey, where you guys going?" And he said, "We're going to the club. You should follow us." I said, "All right, cool." Did you make a request of Mr. Shakur at that point? Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. I was a fan and all that, I guess, or whatever. And I said, "Hey, man, let me get a picture real quick." If this nigga just told you to follow him to the club and you get ready to go follow him to the club, why you need a picture right there at the light? I don't believe this. I don't believe this story. I don't believe this story. That picture looked like Tupac wasn't even aware the picture was about to be taken. So you tell me that nigga said, "Yo, let me get a picture real quick." And Tupac faces like, instead of him like, or making a pose or pointing to Suge or just something. He just looked like a deer in headlights and he asked for that picture? Who tracked this dude down and coached him to this shit, man? Come on, man. I don't believe this, man. I don't believe this for nothing. That not. I believe this dude may have took a picture of Tupac, but they had all this conversation at the light, and he asked to take a picture, and that's Tupac pose for the picture. A deer in headlights. Somebody coached this dude, man. Did you make a request of Mr. Shakur at that point? Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't know. I was a fan and all. What, nigga? How you a fan and all? You been seeing this thing at the label on the regular. You just said you see it, that you sell cars to these niggas. Now I understand you being a fan and all, but you done met him a few times. And I said, hey, man, let me get a picture real quick. And did you take a picture of him? Yes. And I'm showing you what has been marked. Look, they cut him off. I'm showing you what's been marked as grand jury exhibit number 43. Do you recognize that? Yes. What is it? It's a picture of Tupac and Suge in a BMW. And is that the photograph you took that night? Yes, sir. After you took this photograph, what did you see? Wait. After you took this photograph, what do you see, Suge? Or does the car drive away? Yeah. So after I took the picture, I put my camera back on the center console and the light changed green and then they took off. And I saw a few cars behind them and I recognized some of the cars. So I let them go because I was going to go behind them. And so once they passed me up, I got behind them. He recognized some of the cars that was with them from where? Where would he recognize some of these cars that's with them? Let me see where the hell this is going. And I saw a few cars behind them, and I recognized some of the cars, so I let them go because I was going to get behind them. And so once they passed me up, I got behind them. And what kind of car were you in? I was in a Suburban, a Chevy Suburban. And do you remember what color it was? White. So you're at the kind of the tail end of the entourage. You've now started following them. I was about 3 cars behind. It's the Outlaws. It's Buntree. So he's saying he's the 3rd car. Okay, at some point, does Mr. Knight turn off of Las Vegas Boulevard? Yes. And sometime after he turns off Las Vegas Boulevard, does something catch your attention? After he turns off? Well, at some point, do you hear something that causes your concern? Leading, Your Honor, leading, objection, leading. Actually, I was on the phone calling California Pizza to cancel my food order, and I made the right turn. After I made the right turn, I don't know, maybe 5-10 seconds, I don't know the exact time. I just heard pop, 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 pop. After hearing that, what do you see? I see people jump out of the cars and they run in front. They run towards the BMW. The BMW that Tupac and Suge were in? Yes. So is it fair to say you never saw a suspect vehicle or the shooter or anything like that? No. You just heard shots and then you saw the commotion that goes to Tupac's car. Hold on, bro. He's at the light with them. Yo, Pac, what up? Blah, 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 blah. Yo, take this picture. Psh. You take the picture. Yo, follow us. Boom. Pac drive off. Here come Frank and the Outlaws. Here come Buntree and Neckbone. And he said he went and got behind them. Suge make the right. Witchcore make the right. Frank make the right. Buntree make the right. He's behind them. He make the right. And then he hear the shots. So where the fuck is the alleged Keefe D car come pulling up on them at? How did they zoom past this nigga and he don't see nothing? Is this why they saying they got him on the phone so he could say he didn't see nothing? So is it fair to say you never saw the suspect vehicle? Wait. At some point, does Mr. Knight turn off of Las Vegas Boulevard? Yes. And sometime after he turns off of Las Vegas Boulevard, does something catch your attention? After he turns off, well, at some point, do you hear something that causes your concern? Actually, I was on the phone calling California Pizza to cancel my food order, and I made the right turn. After I made the right turn, I don't know, maybe 5-10 seconds. I don't know the exact time, but I just heard pop, pop, pop. After hearing that, what did you see? I see some people jump out of the cars and they run in front. They run towards the BMW. The BMW that Tupac and Suge were in, yes. So is it fair to say you never saw a suspect or the shooter or anything like that? No. Objection, leading. Why didn't you ask him did he see a shooter? How do you already know that he didn't see a vehicle or a shooter or anything like that? Because this motherfucker was already prepped. Y'all went through this already. You just heard shots and then you saw the commotion that goes on to Tupac's car. Yes, sir. What happens after that? After that, I see the BMW make a wide U-turn. And then it makes the U-turn. There was the people that had ran towards the car are now running back towards their car. And one of the guys tried to get in my vehicle, but my door was locked. And I recognized the guy, but the guy wasn't riding with me. So I guess he realized he was in the wrong car or trying to get in the wrong car. And then I got caught up in the moment and I followed behind them and I made the U-turn as well. Why would somebody go run and try to get into a white Suburban? Frank and them wasn't in a white Suburban. Buntree and them was in a black Toyota Supra. So why would somebody that was with Pop run and try to get into the white Suburban? Somebody said, honestly, Choke, this guy has done interviews before and never said any of this, only about the picture. He needs to find something else to do, I guess. No, trust me. If what you're saying is right, there's an angle for why they got him saying what he's saying. Now, the evidence has established that the shooting happens as the entourage is heading eastbound on Flamingo about at about Colville. You see Suge take a left and go back towards the strip, as well as the other cars, and start following them. And you follow as well. Yes, sir. Can you describe for me how Suge's driving westbound on Flamingo as he gets to sort of where the strip is? Yeah, he was speeding and he maneuvered away from one car or a few cars, and then he made a big wide left turn back onto the strip or Las Vegas Boulevard. As he made that turn, he went up on the curb, and then he came back down, and then he sped off, and then he came through the intersection as well. Oh, y'all fucked up here, but I can't say why. I can't say why. And do you follow him until, well, at some point, does his vehicle stop? Yes. So there was like, it was kind of a crowded, and wait, let me go back to that. Yeah, he was speeding and he maneuvered away from one car or a few cars, and then he made a big wide left turn back onto the strip or Las Vegas Boulevard. And as he made that turn, he went up on the curb, and then he came back down, and then he sped off, and then he came back through the intersection as well. I got it. What page is this? 61. I gotta let this nigga hear this. Yeah, he was speeding and he maneuvered away from one car or a few cars, and then he made a big wide left turn back onto the strip or Las Vegas Boulevard. As he made that turn, he went up on the curb, and then he came back down, and then he sped off, and then we came through the intersection as well. And did you follow him until, well, at some point, does his vehicle stop? Yes. So there was like, it was kind of a crowded. So, excuse me. Yes, so there was like, it was kind of crowded, and he made a left turn, and then he couldn't get across the way. I remember he couldn't get across. And then he was sitting there, some bicycle cops rode up on their bikes, and one of the cops threw the bikes down and was, giving them commands. Did you hear Suge say anything? Yes, I did. What did you hear him saying? I heard him saying, my man Pac is shot. Pac is shot. As you watching this unfold with police at Suge's car, did something happen to you? Yes. What happens? Objection, Your Honor, leading. How you knew something happened to him? Y'all really went over this shit, didn't y'all? So what happens? So as I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, and a cop comes up to me and pulls a shotgun on me and drags me out of my car. Okay. And then what does he do with you? He throws me on the ground, and I'm questioning like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And I don't remember what he said. Oh, he asked me, was I with them? Was I with them? And I was like, no, I wasn't. And he said, well, we have witnesses saying that you were. What? Oh, yeah, I really got to motherfucking tell this thing about this shit. Oh, he asked me, was I with them? Was I with them? And I was like, no, I wasn't. And he said, well, we have witnesses saying that you were. And I said, I just saw them. I just saw them at the intersection. I just took a picture. And then, you know, they were searching me and they searched my vehicle. And as I was laying there, I saw, you know, the melee going on with the police, with Suge. And I saw them run over there to the other side, to the passenger side where Tupac was. I saw them trying to get in the car. And is it fair to say, this motherfucker keep cutting him off when he getting ready to volunteer some shit? Is it fair to say that there were multiple vehicles with multiple people pulled out and proned out? I don't remember. I just remember myself. You just remember yourself getting pulled out like that? Yes. At some point, do you get released from the scene, which is basically the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon? Yes, I do. And where do you go? I went back to my hotel. And when you got there, where in the hotel did you go? I went back to the craps table where I left my friend and he was still there. And did you start to tell him kind of a crazy objection, Your Honor? Leading. These motherfuckers really went over this. Oh, they went over this. I went back to the crab table where I left my friend and he was still there. And did you start to tell him kind of the crazy story of what just happened? Yeah. I was talking to him and telling him what happened, and that was it. While you were standing there talking to your friend, did something happen? Yes. I had been there about 10, 15 minutes, and I'm standing there talking to my friend, and all of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder. And I look behind me, and it's the same police officer that drug me out of my vehicle. And he said, we fucked up. We shouldn't have let you go. The detectives need you back at the scene. Wait a minute. How the fuck did they know where he went? So you telling me he's only been going 10, 15 minutes. These niggas is shot up outside, waiting for the ambulance, all this other shit. And some way or another, they found this nigga not in his room, but at the fucking crap table. This shit, something stinks about this. Something stinks about this witness, man. It's gonna come by the end of the testimony. It's gonna come out. Watch. Whatever they fucking cooking up here, it's some bullshit. And I look behind me, it's the same police officer that drugged me out of my vehicle. And he said, we fucked up. We shouldn't have let you go. The detectives need you back at the scene. And did you agree to go with him? Yes, I did. And did you then go back to the scene? Yes, I did. And at some point, do you relay information that you took a photograph of Tupac and Suge that night? Yes, sir. He said that when they first pulled him out the fucking truck. And do the police, I don't know if either you voluntarily gave it to them or whether or not they just took it. But at some point, did the police officers recover your camera, take a copy of it, but then provide you your camera back? Yeah. The detective, I can't remember his name, but he interviewed me. He asked me to see the camera. And it was a 35 millimeter camera, and I still had some exposure. So I don't know. Well, you guys look like you know what a 35 millimeter camera is. So the camera that I had, had like a self rewind. Like if you don't take all the, expose all of it, you can do a rewind. So they wanted to, he said, do you mind if I, take my film? And I said, sure. He said, well, we'll get it back to you. We just want to see if, the picture that you took, to see if there's anything that, if there's anything on that picture. Essentially, moments before Tupac is shot, this shows what he's wearing and what Suge is wearing in that vehicle. Yes, sir. That completes my questions for the witness. If the grand jury has any questions. Oh, I have one. I'm sorry. Did you get your film back? Yes, I did. They FedExed it back to me about a week, 2 weeks later. And did you get that camera, the picture back? The picture? Did they give you, they sent me back the film? Yeah. They just had the film. Thank you. So they dismissed this guy. How did they find this dude in the casino at the crap table? How far is the Monte Carlo from? Let me pull up a goddamn map. You tell me they was able to find this nigga after he left, and they couldn't find that white Cadillac that same night? Okay, let's see here. Where is the Monte Carlo? Where the hell is Flamingo at? This is Koval right here. All right, so right here, let's pull it right in the middle. Okay. So right here is where Pac got shot. Right here. Where the fuck is the Monte Carlo? So they got shot right here. Is the Monte Carlo still there? Let me see. Yeah, it is. I think it's still there. That's the one they do the water show. It's on Las Vegas Boulevard. So you tell me this dude went all the way up here to Las Vegas Boulevard, parked his car, went and met his friend at the crap table, and the cop pulled up on him and found him? Let me see something here. What's this distance between? Let's see what's on Cove Island. Weston, Las Vegas Hotel to the Monte Carlo. What is it? Driving distance. Oh, it's the Park MGM now. The Monte Carlo is the Park MGM. Park MGM distance to go out. Go. There we go. Okay. Make sure y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see that. All right. So Pac and Suge is right here. Right where you see this red dot at. Right here, right? So you telling me this is where they got shot at. The dude leaves. He drives all the way over here. And there's a 15-minute drive, y'all. He drives from here all the way over here, all the way down here to the Monte Carlo. How was they able to find him and his hotel on the casino floor after he parked? And Suge and them is 15 minutes away. How did they find him, bro? And you tell me they could not find the Cadillac that shot up the car? Who was that making sense to, bro? I need to read that part again. Oh, damn, did I close it? Yeah, I did. Hold on. Something ain't right about that. What page? It says 61. All right. Y'all got to stay with me on this one. Like, how? Just how? Is it fair to say that there were multiple vehicles with multiple people pulled out and proned out? I don't remember. I just remember myself. You just remember yourself getting pulled out like that. Yes. At some point, did you get released from the scene, which basically the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon? Yes, I do. Hold on. Let me look at Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon. Still a 9-minute drive, half a mile away. I don't care. This nigga still parked this car, went in the casino. How the fuck they find this dude? That fast. And at some point you got released. At some point do you get released from the scene, which is basically the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon? Yes, I do. And where did you go? I went back to my hotel. And when you got there, where in the hotel did you go? I went back to the crap table where I left my friend, and he was still there. And did you start to tell him kind of the crazy story of what just happened? Yeah, I was talking to him and telling him what happened, and that was it. While you were standing there talking to your friend, did something happen? Yes. I had been there about 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes talking to his friend, which means he parked his car, valeted his car, walked through the goddamn casino, and was there talking to his friend for 10, 15 minutes. And the police was able to find this nigga in Vegas amongst all these people. What the fuck? He left the scene and said, yo, man, y'all need me. I'll be at the crap table over in the Monte Carlo. Yes, I had been there about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm standing there talking to my friend, and all of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder. And I look behind. It's the same police officer that drug me out of my vehicle. I would love to know this cop's name. I would love to know this cop's name. And he said, we fucked up. We shouldn't have let you go. The detectives need you back at the scene. I bet you this is one of the motherfuckers that was working for Reggie. Them motherfuckers need to make sure they ain't had no pictures of the fucking shooter. That's what the fuck that was. That's why they took his camera and his film to make sure he ain't have a picture of the motherfucking shooter. Me, I wouldn't have gave up my camera. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that completes the presentation for today. I'll apologize with all the out-of-state witnesses. It's hard to line up more than a couple each week. So we will be back, I believe, next Thursday to present some more matters. And I know Mr. Palau instructed you on the specific statement made by Sergeant Ladd concerning the Southside Crips being responsible for Tupac's murder. But Sergeant Ladd a number of times said, I was told this, I was told that. Sergeant Ladd is an expert, and an expert can only rely upon evidence, even if that evidence is not admissible. So when he makes statements like, I was told this, I was told that, it is for the purposes of establishing his opinions and why he has those opinions. Any statement he made about information he was told by other people was not offered or nor may it may be considered by you for the truth of the matter asserted, only to give context to the opinions that he had. Only to give context to the opinions that he was providing you. Is there anybody who cannot follow that instructions? Okay, thank you. We'll see you next week. Yeah, he told y'all that shit to put that shit in y'all head. To help y'all make a decision to goddamn indict Keefe D. All right, let's get to Idi Amin's testimony. All right, we're going to skip the doctor. We're going to come back to her. Who is this? It's one of the cops. Okay, this is the cop that took the pictures of the scene. Okay. We'll come back to that. I want to get to Edie. I mean. All right, here you go. Mr. Greenwich. Is it Greenwich or Greenwich? Mr. Green, we're going to call him Mr. Edie. I mean, Mr. Edie, just so we clear, you're here under a subpoena. Is that correct? Ah, see, he had to get subpoenaed. Reggie wasn't. Reggie act like he was subpoenaed, but in his testimony, it don't start off like that. Reggie's don't start off as that. Mr. Greenwich, we are, just so we clear, you're here under a subpoena. Is that correct? That is correct. Excuse me, we didn't get your last name. I'm sorry. It's Greenwich. Greenidge. Mr. Greenwich, so you're here under a subpoena. Is that correct? That is correct. And your understanding is that that's a court order for you to appear. I understand that. Did you know somebody by the name of Tupac Shakur? I did. How did you know Mr. Shakur? We were childhood friends. Did that friendship continue throughout adulthood? It did. Until his ultimate passing, it did. Did you have both a personal and professional relationship with Mr. Shakur? I did. Can you describe the nature of the professional relationship you had with Mr. Shakur? I was a recording artist and he was as well. And he was essentially my mentor, the person who got me into the business. And did you have a group that you were, a rap group that you were associated with? I did. And what was the name of that group? The Outlaws. Did you know somebody by the name of Marion Suge Knight? I did. And how did you know Mr. Knight? He was the CEO of the label that Tupac Shakur was an artist on. And what was the name of that label? Death Row Records. As a result of Mr. Knight being the CEO of Death Row Records, did you have a lot of interaction with him? I did. Where was Death Row Records located? Los Angeles, California. As a recording artist, would you record at Death Row Records studios? Correct. I would have said no. Fucking Death Row, he had no recording studios. It was Can-Am or whatever the fuck. And would you record with Mr. Shakur? I did. I'm going to fast forward now to about 1995, 1996. Is that the time frame you were recording with Mr. Shakur and other Death Row artists? That is correct. At that time, were you aware of I'm trying to put this in a vernacular disagreement or rivalry between the Death Row Records and Bad Boy companies? This is correct. Okay. And can you describe that a little bit of what your understanding of what the rivalry was? Well, what is common in hip hop is the competitive nature of hip hop, and it was like we would call a rap beef. And that was the word I wanted to say, but just for the vernacular, let me get this proper. Vernacular. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Vernacular. My bad. The language or dialect spoken by the ordinary people in a particular country or region. By the ordinary people. Fuck is the ordinary people? And that was the word I wanted to say, but just for the vernacular here. So is it common or uncommon in hip hop, in the hip hop world, for there to be disagreements or insults traded in rap artists? That is correct. It's common. It's common. It can be at times. Okay. Is it fair to say it's part of the hip hop culture? The competitive side of it, it is. Now, at the time, were you aware of songs made by the Bad Boy album or Bad Boy signed artists taking shots at Death Row artists? Not really. Were you aware of any songs at the time that Death Row had performed, or you in particular had performed, that were taking shots at Bad Boy artists? We did a song. Okay. And what was the same of that? Some songs. The most famous one is Hit 'Em Up. And was that in the 1996 era? That's correct. All right. And you said you were childhood friends with Mr. Shakur, and then you also had a professional work relationship with Mr. Shakur. Is it fair to say that during this time period, particularly in 1995 and 96, you were spending a lot of time with Mr. Shakur? That is correct. I want to fast forward now to September 7th of 1996. Were you in Las Vegas during that time? Yes. And were you in Las Vegas to go to a box? And what were you in Las Vegas for? To go to a boxing event and a party later on that night. And with regards to the boxing event, do you recall at least one or two of the fighters that were involved in the boxing event? I do. And who was involved in the boxing event? Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon. And with regards to getting here to Vegas, were you living in LA during that time period? I was. How did you get from LA to Vegas? I was in Tupac's fiance's at the time car. And who was that? Who is his fiance? Kadada Jones. And then was Miss Jones also one of the people that came out to Las Vegas? She did. And do you recall who else came to Las Vegas with you or your group? Tupac Shakur's cousin, two of his cousins, and another childhood friend. And then Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight also come out. They did. And then you had mentioned your rap group, the Outlaws. Were there any members of that rap group that were out there as well? Yes. And who were they? You want their rap names or their I'll take their real names. Katari Cox and Yafua Fula. Thank you. Where did you end up staying that night? September 7th of 1996. We stayed at the Luxor Hotel. Did you share a room with anybody? I shared the room with Fuller and Cox. And those were the two members of, and those were the two co-members or two of the co-members of the Outlaws. That's correct. What was the plan that night? The plan was to go to the fight and go to the party. And do you remember where the fight was? The MGM. Who were you supposed to go to the fight? Who were you supposed to go with to the fight? Tupac Shakur, Fuller, and Cox, Mr. Knight. That's all I'm aware of. Okay. Did you actually end up going to the fight with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur? We did not. What happened? Mr. Shakur left before we were ready. And then at some point, how did you discover that Mr. Shakur had left to go to the MGM? We called his hotel room. And did somebody answer this hotel room? Yes. Who answered? It was either his fiance or his cousin. I'm not really clear on that. Now, what did you do when you found out Mr. Shakur had already left to go to the MGM Grand? We leave to go to the MGM. And by we, who do you mean? Fuller and Cox and myself. And how did the three of you get to the MGM Grand? We run. Okay, fair. And then do you ultimately make it to the MGM? We did. And what do you observe when you get to the MGM Grand? Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight coming out of the MGM Grand. Were you under the impression that the boxing match had ended by that point? Yes. So what did you meet up with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur outside the MGM? We did. And what did you do then? It was Mr. Shakur and Knight leaving out with a bunch of people following behind them, fans, things of that nature, and we just kind of stepped in and stride with them. And at some point, do you make it back to the Luxor? We did. Do you know if Mr. Shakur had changed his clothing from what he wore to the fight to after leaving the Luxor? Yes, he eventually did change. Now, when you are ultimately leaving the Luxor, where are you planning to go? Plan on going. Where are you planning on going? To the party. And you've talked about this party a couple of times. Where was the party? At Club 662? In this Club 662, were you aware who was in charge of that club? Yes, I was. Who was in charge of that club? Who was in charge or who owned it? Who owned it? I don't know who was in charge, but who owned it, I was under the impression that Mr. Knight owned it. So is it fair to say that that was a place that Death Row artists or people associated with Death Row would feel comfortable to hang out and go there? Yes. Was there expected to be a performance at Club 662? It was. And who was expected to perform at the Club 662? Tupac. If a white person was reading this, Tupac. And were you one of the people that might also be performing that night? This is a concert with your group, the Outlaws? Correct. Tell me how you get from Luxor to 662. Do you run to Club 662 or how do you get there? Come on, stupid ass. No, we didn't run. We took a vehicle, a car. And how many vehicles were associated with your party? I'm not really sure. I was aware of the vehicle we were in and the vehicle that Tupac and Mr. Knight were in. Okay. Now, fair to say, you were there both as a friend of Mr. Shakur and as a recording artist yourself. That is correct. So you obviously have no role in security or anything like that. Other than that's my family and we have each other's back and we're out in the world. Wait, other than that's my family and we have each other's back when we're out in the world. Right. So in a familiar sense, obviously you care about the security and you're looking out for the people that you care about. Is that correct? Yes. But from a professional standpoint, that wasn't your professional responsibility. I'm not a professional security person. Were you aware if Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight had professional security? I was. In the vehicle that you took to the club 662, who was in that vehicle? Myself, Fuller, Cox, and Tupac's security guard. What's Tupac's security guard's name? Frank. And were you aware whether or not Frank was armed? Eventually, I was aware of that status. And by eventually, do you mean after this incident or before this incident? Pretty much right after, right? Pretty much right before the incident. Okay, and so obviously, we're here for a shooting. So when I say the incident, I mean before the shooting, you became aware that Frank, the security guard, did not have a firearm. I was. We became of that, yes. Okay. What car were you? Well, can you describe the car that you were in? It was a Lexus. What color was it? Black. And then can you describe what the vehicle that Mr. Shakur was in? It was a BMW. And what color was that? Black. And was somebody in the car with Mr. Shakur? Mr. Knight. And do you recall who was driving and who was in the passenger seat? I do. Who was in what seat? Mr. Knight was driving, Shakur was in the passenger seat. Was that fairly typical? No. So that's not, so that was unusual, but it happened that, so that was unusual, but it happened that night. It wasn't unusual. It was only unusual because Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur didn't always ride together. Oh, okay. And then your vehicle that you were in, the black Lexus, where were you sitting? I was in the back passenger seat. I was in the back passenger side. As you were driving the Club 662, was there a shooting? There was. And can you describe the events that led up to that shooting? We were on our way to Club 662. Mr. Shakur and Knight were in the car in front of us. We approached the light. Some women drove up on the passenger side. Mr. Shakur began talking to them. Mr. Shakur began talking to the women. We couldn't really hear what he was saying. We assumed he was probably inviting them to the club. After the ladies pulled off, another car pulled up beside Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight, and the arm came out of the back window and began shooting. Can you describe the car that came up beside Mr. Shakur's vehicle? It was a white or light-colored Cadillac. At that time, would you describe it as a really old Cadillac or a newer model Cadillac? It was a newer model Cadillac. Did you see the people inside the vehicle? I can see silhouettes. Could you tell the race of the people inside the vehicle? I could. And what was the race? African American. Now, you said you saw a man arm reach out of the vehicle. Could you tell by skin tone whether or not that arm, the race of the person that the arm belonged to? I could. And what race was that? African American. With regards to the size of the arm, would you describe it? It was a larger size arm, muscular. So not, wait, with regards to the size of the arm, how would you describe it? It was a larger size arm, muscular. So not necessarily a thin arm. It was not. Okay. What do you, well, strike that. How many shots do you recall seeing? I don't remember how many shots it was. It was more than 5. And what did you do when you saw the shots? Nothing. Was there anything that you felt you could do at that moment? Not at all. Did you see what the Cadillac did after the shot more than what did you see what the Cadillac did after it shot more than 5 times? I did not. What were you focused on? I was focused on Mr. Shakur and his safety and his condition. What happens after the Cadillac shoots Mr. Shakur's car? Mr. Knight made a U-turn over the median and started going in the opposite direction. Are you telling who's driving the vehicle that you're in? Frank is still driving that vehicle. And what are you telling Frank to do, or does Frank decide to do something? Frank had jumped out the car to go check on Mr. Knight and Shakur before he turned. Mr. Knight turned, Mr. Suge Knight turned, and Frank came and got back in the car and began to follow them. At that time, well, did you, or I don't want to talk about Mr. Alexander. Did you or any other member of the vehicle, people in the vehicle, have a firearm? No. And to your knowledge, that night, did either Mr. Shakur or Mr. Knight have a firearm that night? No. Not to my knowledge. Okay. And you say you weren't aware who else was driving in the entourage or in your, in your group. But were you aware that there was more than 2 vehicles associated? Were you aware that there were more than 2 vehicles associated with your group? I was aware of that. You just don't know exactly who was in what vehicle? Correct. And do you know, or would you know whether or not any of those people in your group would have firearms? I do not know. Okay. Do you recall seeing, after the shots from the Cadillac, do you recall seeing or hearing any other people shoot that was from your group at the white Cadillac? I do not. Look, these motherfuckers try to get my man Edie to snitch. They try to get Edie to pull a Reggie. Edie, my nigga, he's standing up in this motherfucker. I do not. Is it possible that it occurred and you didn't see it? I can't testify to that. In the moment, our attention was completely on the car that Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur was in. So when Mr. Alexander gets back into the vehicle, and I'm sorry, I said Mr. Alexander. What's Frank's full name? Frank Alexander. So when Mr. Alexander gets back into your vehicle, what does Mr. Alexander do? He turns and he goes in the direction that Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight were heading in. And do you ultimately catch up with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur's vehicle? We do. What do you do when you catch up with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur's vehicle? I eventually got out of the car and ran up to Mr. Shakur's side. How was the vehicle positioned? Do you remember? Was it parked properly, or was it kind of in a state of, no, it wasn't parked properly, to answer your question. Is it fair to say it looked like somebody who might have been panicking or driving? Correct. So you said you approached the passenger side. So you said you approached the passenger side vehicle. The passenger side of the BMW. Is that right? That is correct. And why did you do that? Because that's where Mr. Shakur was sitting. And what did you do when you get to the passenger side of the vehicle? Ask him, is he okay? How's he doing? Trying to see, what condition he was in. And does Mr. Shakur respond at all? He does. What do Mr. Shakur say? Get on the ground. They're going to shoot you. And what is he referring to? He's referring to the officers who were eventually at the scene. So when you approached the BMW at that point, had you noticed any police officers? I did not. And when you I'm gonna come back to that. And then when you're told to get on the ground, they're going to shoot you. At that point, do you start looking around? Yes. And what do you see? A gun. And who's holding the gun? A police officer. And is this police officer giving you instructions? He is. And what is he telling you to do? Get on the ground or I'll shoot you. So what do? I get on the ground. Are you actually detained at the scene? We were. And by we, are you also referring to the 3 people that were in your vehicle? Correct. And are you able to observe what's happening with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur while this is going on? Somewhat. And what do you observe? Mr. Knight was bleeding from his head. He was on the ground urging the paramedics to check on Mr. Shakur. So at that point, Mr. Knight's primary concern was also Mr. Shakur? Correct. And are you seeing anything that's going on with Mr. Shakur? I'm noticing, first I'm noticing he was very calm. He wasn't moving much. And then after that, we were basically laying on the ground in the street, and I couldn't really see what was going on with him. Did you hear either Mr. Knight or Mr. Shakur say anything while you were on the ground? I did not. And at that point, is it early September night? And at that point, it's an early September night in Las Vegas. Is it fair to say it was pretty hot while you were on the asphalt? It was hot as hell. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing that word right. Asphalt. Yeah, I am. What is that? A mixture of dark bituminous, what the fuck is this? With pitched with sand or gravel used for surfacing roads. Oh, the fucking tar, the ground, goddamn it, the street. And you was on the asphalt for a short or long period of time. We were on asphalt for what it seemed like a very long time. At some point, do police ultimately realize that you are not involved as a shooter, but rather as a victim or witness? They do. And as a result, do they let you go? Not right away. What do? They begin questioning us about the shooting. And in fact, did you give a tape statement regarding that shooting? I'm aware now that I did. You came to my office yesterday. Is that correct? This is correct. And that's where you became aware of that you had a statement that was recorded. I do. Okay, fairly short statement. Is that fair to say? Uh-huh. Is that a yes? That's a yes. And then you also gave provably, and then you also gave provably a 1 or 2 sentence written statement as well. Is that correct? This is correct. At that point, are you ultimately allowed to leave? Yes. Where do you go? We went to the hospital. Is that University Medical Center? Yes. And what do you do at UMC? Pray. Are you aware that Mr. Shakur passes away some 6 days after the shooting? I'm aware. Were you in Las Vegas during that time? I was. Why were you here? Because he was still in the hospital? Did you ever see Mr. Shakur inside the hospital, inside his hospital room? I did. Were you one of the people that were given the closeness of the relationship? Were you one of the people that could go in? This is correct. Were you also one of the people that, well, did you see Mr. Shakur's mother also at the hospital? I did. And that would be Afeni Shakur? Afeni Shakur, yes. All right. At some point, you learned that Mr. Shakur had passed away. Is that correct? Correct. How did you learn that? His mother told pretty much everybody. This is going to be kind of a silly question, and I'll apologize for it. Since that day, have you ever heard from Mr. Shakur? How fucking stupid is that? I have not. Okay, thank you. So in your statement, do you recall seeing 2 people on the front, on the driver's side of the vehicle, the driver and the passenger? What vehicle are we talking about? I'm sorry, in the white Cadillac. How many people did you see? From my vantage point, I thought I saw 3 people. Okay, all right. State has no further questions for this witness. Do any members of the grand jury, the jury asks, where's Club 662 as you were, where you were going? I don't know. I didn't know Las Vegas that well at that time, so I didn't even really know where the club was. So was it towards the Luxor where you were staying? Was it the opposite direction? It was away from the hotel. Okay. What was the name you performed under? Idi Amin. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. So you said you saw the arm come out of the back side, not the front where the driver is? The arm came out the passenger side. Or what? The arm came out of the passenger side or the back seat of the driver's side. Huh? Did he make a mistake right there? So you said you saw the arm come out of the back side, not the front where the driver is. The arm came out of the passenger side or the back seat of the driver's side. I'm so fucking confused. The arm came out the passenger side or the back seat of the driver's side. I think he made a mistake right there. Okay, thank you. Are there any tattoos, anything on that arm that you saw? That not that I recall. And just so we're clear, this occurred in the nighttime hours of the day. It was dark outside. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Were you able to get the license plate of the Cadillac? I was not. Thank you. No more questions. No more questions. Now, who is this? William Heidemer. Hold on. I want to talk about Edie's testimony for a minute. Because that last line, you know what? That was not a mistake. Because remember, one of the girls, I got the girl's testimony for the grand jury, but I got her old testimony, the girl Ingrid, and I got her new one for the grand jury. So I'm gonna talk about that as well, right? But remember, the girl said the people that shot at Buntree car, that was the passenger that did the shooting. So Edie might just be talking about both and not being specific, because remember, he didn't give no information on Buntree and them. But remember, the girl said when after Pac, the shooting at Pac car, after they went up and they bust the right, they said the driver, the passenger, came out and started shooting back at Buntree. Right? With his left hand, turned around, stuck his arm out, and was shooting at Buntree. So Edie might be talking about both in one. He's seen, because remember, it was two shootings. It was the bullets that hit Pop car and Shield car, and then it was Buntree car getting shot up. So I think that's what he's saying. Is the passenger and is the backseat driver or somebody in the backseat. This is definitely a trained shooter. There's no questions. If you look at them fucking, like, if this is the door handle, all the bullets is from here to here. They don't even go outside of this door handle. That, for a nigga to pull up, boom, 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 and hit everything under this phone and not nothing past my hands, nigga, you know what you doing. And that ain't no nigga with no bum shoulder, dislocated shoulder, that just got stomped out with a dislocated shoulder, being that accurate and leaning over a nigga that accurate. Y'all niggas is tripping listening to Reggie. Believing that bullshit ass story. Orlando Anderson did it with his damn whole shoulder kicked out. Let me see here what this dude testimony looks like. All right, I'm gonna go through this, guys. Oh shit. Oh, let's see what this is here. All right, y'all. Here we go. We back in the mix. This is some shit we never heard before. I still want to know how these detectives found this nigga at the crap table. Them niggas was really watching a lot of stuff. All right, let's get into this. This next witness name is William Highmeyer. Sir, back in 1996, did you live in Las Vegas? Yes, I did. And did you have a job? Yes. What was your job? I was a security officer with the Maxim Hotel and Casino. And I'm going to direct your attention to, well, somewhere around 11 o'clock at night on September 7th of 1996. Were you on duty? Yes. And at that time, well, you obviously know what you were here to talk about. But at the time that the incident occurs, that we're talking about here at this grand jury, do you recall where you were as part of your responsibilities working? Well, at the time, I was with the two Metro police officers in the parking garage, on the southeast corner of the property. So I'm going to pull up this. I know it's slightly, give it just a second, hopefully. So the old Maxim was basically at the corner of Flamingo and Koval. I might have to pull this up. Yes, it was. And there was a parking garage, or is a parking garage, sort of on the corner here of the southeast corner of the property. Yes. It was a little bit because there was some parking available in front. But yes. Okay. Are you on the first floor or the second floor or the third floor, or do you remember? I was on the third floor. You know what floor he was on. You done prepped this motherfucker for you wouldn't be asking that question. I was on the third floor at the time. And was this a standard type of was this a standard type garage that you have here in Las Vegas where, you know, the interior, there's a wall, but it's open air between the top and the bottom? Yes. While you're there with some police officers, were there investigating an incident unrelated to why you were here today? Correct. And as you were there, did something unusual happen, or did you hear something unusual? Yeah, gunfire erupted on Flamingo. Approximately how many? Well, first of all, was it all one set of gunfire, or were there multiple volleys? It was multiple volleys. It was like, I want to say probably 3 volleys or maybe 6 to 10 rounds each volley. It was very pop, 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 pop. Then what happened? What did you do? We ran towards the sound of the gunfire. And I was on security at the time, and I had leaned over the barrier to see what was going on, essentially. And the 2 Metro officers were behind me. And I remember one of them had dropped his radio, and it had broken, came apart, and the other officer ran to the car to pursue. When you got to the wall, and I'm assuming then you looking, when I got to the wall, and I'm assuming, then you're looking out from the parking garage down onto Flamingo. You ain't goddamn assuming, they told you. Flamingo, what did you see? I see a series, a line of cars. The light was red, so the cars were stopped. And I saw people outside of the vehicles right in front of the traffic lanes. Okay. And do you see any of these people armed with a weapon? Yes. There was one black male adult, athletic, wearing a very bright white shirt, a black vest, black slacks, black shoes, and he was carrying, I could see it was a semi-automatic pistol. And you see that all the way over there from the parking garage. And was he pointed at any particular direction? Not at the time that I saw it. It was kind of, it was in his hand. Okay. At the time you see that, do you initially draw a conclusion as to who might be the shooter? I assume that was the shooter because that was the only person I saw with a weapon very shortly after hearing the gunfire. And as you're watching down into this line of vehicles, do you see what those vehicles then did? What are they trying to get to here? Hold on. I'm assuming that they saying that this is this person was in the entourage shooting back at the shooters, at the killers. I'm assuming this. I think this is what this person trying to say. I assume that was the shooter because that was the only person I saw with a weapon very shortly after hearing the gunfire. And as you're watching down into this line of vehicles, do you see what those vehicles then did? Well, the vehicles actually had made a U-turn from not the left lane, but the center lane, made a U-turn on Flamingo and headed towards Las Vegas Boulevard. And did you see more than one of them? Yeah, there were several vehicles. There was a white, if I can remember correctly, I believe it was a white Dodge Stratus 4-door. There was the black BMW. There was another smaller car that was dark in color. And then there was a white Chevy Suburban. So there was a number of vehicles then that made a... Where's the girl's car? Where's the girl's car? Well, the vehicles actually had made a U-turn from not the left lane, but the center. So he didn't see the Cadillac and he didn't see the girls. He heard the shots, then he went over there and looked. By that time, the Cadillac and the girls probably already made the right. So there's a number of vehicles then that make a U-turn. And you saw those vehicles do a U-turn and go in this direction, headed towards Las Vegas Boulevard. Were any of the people that were out of the vehicles, did they get back into those vehicles that wind up doing the U-turn and going in that direction. Yes, all of the people that I had seen went back to the vehicles that were making U-turns. So they all in this convoy type of, and when you realize or you believe that now the shooters are going westbound on Flamingo, do you rely any information to the police? Yeah. At that point, the police officers had gotten down to the exit. They had looked up at me from their windows, and I was just pointing at them to make the right and head towards Las Vegas Boulevard. So the officers that you're what? So you on the 3rd floor, brother, in the garage, and police pull up and they looking up at you, and you like, they're over there, get them, all the way up there on the 3rd floor in the dark. Okay, let's just say I believe that. So the officers that you're at least talking to, you're trying to communicate to them, hey, the guy who is the shooter is headed in that direction. Correct. And then do you see what those officers then do? They pursue westbound on Flamingo. Yes. What? Thank you very much. That completes. Oh, let me ask you this. The person that you saw standing outside the vehicle, was he on the driver's side or the passenger side of the vehicle? Do you remember? He was on the passenger side, rear of the BMW. And the person who's in the passenger side, rear, black BMW, can you tell what race he was? He was black. He was a black male adult. Thank you. That completes my questions for the witness. The jurors, was it normal to have Metro on your property? No. The incident the reason the Metro, we had a series of Dodge Caravans stolen out of our parking garage that night. And we called Metro to come and investigate it. So the reasons they were on the property was because of that unrelated incident. They happened to be there at the time of the shooting. So the actual shooting took place at Covell Flamingo. Yes. The person with the white shirt and the weapon, did you see where he went? He got in one of those vehicles. I believe it was the Caravan. It was either the Caravan or the Stratus, but he got into one of those vehicles. Any more questions? I'm a little confused right here. I'm confused right here. Is he trying to say that the people that was with Tupac was the shooter? You got to remember, he heard the shots. And then he runs over to the joint. The fact that he don't say nothing about a white Cadillac and he don't say nothing about the green Sebring convertible, he's only this might be a trick. Either this is to establish that somebody in Tupac entourage was shooting back, because you see how they try to get Idi Amin to say that he sees somebody shoot at the shooters. This is to confirm that allegedly Bunchy is dead, so I could talk about it. I'm trying to sit there and save him. This is what this witness is for, is to say that Bunchy shot back at the white Cadillac, but the way that the prosecutor is asking these questions is kind of making it like if Bunchy ran up to Suge's car. No, that ain't even true. Because Bunchy and them never got out the car. They chased the Cadillac. So there was nobody at the fucking. This guy's lying. This guy is lying. He's lying. He didn't see no gun in nobody's hand. Because the Sebring is gone, the Cadillac is gone. Bunchy chased the Cadillac. If he's only seeing the convoy and he's seeing somebody that ran up to the car, he's seeing Frank run up to the back of the car. And they took off. And Frank ran and got back in the car. Frank never had no gun. Edie never had no gun. The dude in the truck, he didn't have no gun. He had a camera. And he wasn't out the car. And the only person that got out the car from where homeboy is saying at that shooting time, after the shots, you see Frank jump out, run up to the car, and Suge bust off and bust a U-turn. And then he runs back to the car, get in. Nobody had a gun standing next to Tupac's car. Yeah, that's bullshit. This guy is bullshit. This shit is bullshit. Let me go back. And what car did Edie say he was in? The black Lexus. So who was in the white Dodge Stratus? Bunchy is in the black Toyota Supra. Frank is in the black Lexus. It's Suge in the BMW. The black Lexus. The Toyota Supra. And they putting this white Chevy Suburban on there. Who's in the white Dodge Stratus? Four-door. Or is the white Stratus the Cadillac? No, because he ain't see the Cadillac. Yeah, who is in this white Stratus? I need to ask this nigga that. Yeah, this is bullshit. William Heimer, we don't believe you. You need more people. And then he gives his testimony in 97? Or where they find this guy at? Yeah, see this dude, he didn't even see the girls pull up and none of that. Let's see who else. Okay. So this is Mr. Ford. So I'm gonna retire. I've been retired now for 12 years. And what did you try? Retire from the Las Vegas Metro Police Department Criminalistic Bureau. All right. We got to get to, oh, that's Daniel Ford. Page 22. And then we got to get to Miss Dr. Lisa Gavin. Okay. This is crazy, bro. I'm telling you, y'all thought OJ trial was big. Let the cameras into this trial. OJ ain't gonna have shit on this trial. I'm telling you. It's a lot of pieces to this. And these people is playing dirty man. Little Burn the Rat, ratted out all the Bloods and Crips in Compton. I know that nigga, he can't even go to the supermarket right now. I know the streets is looking for Reggie ass. That nigga, I know that nigga can't go to the supermarket. That nigga ordering Uber Eats every chance he get. I don't know, y'all. But I got so much more to go over. The girl witness, the girls that pulled up in the car. I'm probably gonna get to them next before I get to Daniel Ford and Lisa Gavin, because I definitely got to hear what this girl say. Oh my God, I can't wait to see if they've been prepped too. I just cannot wait. Choke no joke. I'll be back tomorrow in the AM. All right, we'll get to it on the AM. I got to study for my play All right, I'll be back tomorrow in the morning. One love. Rest in peace, Pop. We love you, kid. One love. Yeah, choke no joke.
KK on
New life. They said I'll be dead or in jail. They was half right, I saw right can sell. I knew I wasn't rich when I couldn't make bail. I made out good, 5 niggas that didn't tell. Hold up, don't go to trial when caught up. Roll the dice, watch the numbers just go up. When you're awful. Choke no joke. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you new, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And my new page, the new joint, I'm gonna put the mashup over there. The Content King, y'all see it right here. Choke no joke. Follow that joint. Follow that. Subscribe to that channel. All right. AC, you want to hear the Ghost of Pot? All right. You've been asking for a few days. All right. Let me start it off. Let me do it right. Let me do it right. Let me play the Ghost of Pot for my peoples. Let me play the Ghost of Pot for my peoples. Got to do it right. Taking requests. Taking requests. Taking requests. I'm taking requests. You know what it is. Choke no joke. I appreciate all the support. Let's go.
This is for Tupac. This is for Tupac.
Rest in peace, Tupac Shakur. Choke no joke.
This is for Tupac. This is for Tupac. This is for Tupac.
Rest in peace, Tupac Shakur. Choke no joke. Let's go. Pac, we still riding, baby. Your Royce, draw up the paperwork. You lucky Solange like me. Yeah. And I wanna make a wifey. I know a nigga wanna fight me. In the elevator wanna fight me. I do you like you do dudes. Drag your ass up and down the ass. You go only go and drop a bag. Cause you ain't half the man that I am. Still mad, you ugly, yeah, shows. Still here hustling that studio. Yo, that your subliminal thing flow. Look, this whole Gia man afro. I got brains, scarecrow. And you ain't shit without me, though. Jumped on Dorothy's yellow brick road. You wicked witch, you a dog, Toto. Tin man and lion, you heartless coward. Cross the bridge to success, douse you with fire. Solos behind you, can call you sire. The kingdom will become garnery and fire. I'm the one, not knives. Summer jam, you would've got harmed. Young son said you was fun. And you devastated like the truth made a run. You see him on Twitter running back. Or any given Sunday. You know, on Twitter, Twitter guy. Yeah, joke no joke. You know what it is. Either war, BX. We here now. Rest in peace, Pop. It's the Ghost of Pop. Yeah, choke no joke.
KK on
New life. They said I'll be dead or in jail. They was half right, I saw right can sell. I knew I wasn't rich when I couldn't make bail. I made out good, 5 niggas that didn't tell. Hold up, don't go to trial when caught up. Roll the dice, watch the numbers just go up. When you're off for what hood shorties and puffs nuts. You got the whammy, cause you pressed your luck. You could have been back on the town, industry bound, no more busting it down. To quarters, half O's, having to catch the flow, and reassuring those who act like they don't know that the ratchet let go. If you think we won't fill them hollow points up with mercury, send them to another planet, leave them screaming like Mike and Janet. Niggas can't stand it. I felt champagne with Ross running the game when I was locked and the CEO jumped in my face talking gangster, nigga. Like I'm not a fucking gangster, nigga. But you got it in here, cause the odds ain't fair. Cause you got that walkie and that button right there. But after 8 hours, you leave here. And that's when you friend, it's not fair. You shoot at the range, we shoot when in range. Roll up in that range, your face look real strange. The look on my face is I got that aim. Before you reach, you feel the pain. Blood stain calculate to your brain. You been licked by that thing. In the game of death, that's what you get when got game. It's a method to the madness, how I bring the pain of one that's not sane. Joke, no joke, I do my thing. Can't hang. They say you're nobody until they kill you. I'm somebody alive, guess that make me an ill dude. Made my name before the funeral, considered a legend and still make moves. They know you when you gone, they know me when I'm on. All over the board, you restricted, you pawn. You wouldn't cut a lawn, blow a candle at dawn. Joe got it going on like fuel. Some of you fools is more ass than mule. Never rule like Rick with Mona Lisa in your crib. Haters mad cause I'm doing what they wish they did. Without the rock, it's still gunning like Chris. Nigga try to block, I tomahawk this shit. Nigga looking down at me, now he looking at dick. Pause, just the term and shit. It's joke, no joke. Nigga, I'm lit. Fired up. And we recorded this in the D and shit. Stay the hell. Don't follow those cats. Choke, no joke. You already know. Let's go out the gray go. Now I'm out the game. Feel good, not pitching in the hood. And I really don't think I could go back to selling crack and stashing them packs in my ass. I maintain weekly money the same. And nah, I don't go through them games. Niggas testing my brain with them triple beams filled with change. Pot crack, grams in the drain. Get hit with the fake exchange. Like baking soda flour. After being on Broadway for hours. Getting knocked, being back at start. Niggas testing if I got heart. Pushing me to pop some shots. Just stop the ball before the start. Old lady with the binocs. Give description to cops. Why they try to tear us apart with that good cop, bad cop. I ain't going for the game, he ain't tell you a thing. Your partners with them saying the same. You can tighten them cuffs till you see veins. Stop fucking yanking them down. They might fuck you if you ain't sane. And nigga never sniff cocaine. And I don't care what game or part of the area you claim. Praise Scarface, you must be insane. Nigga, Tony fucked the boy's dame. His right hand man, he's slaying to get his back blown out the game. Do it on the low, let nobody know. No pillow talk to home. And if he step on your toes, don't bust a blame. Cause everybody will know. Or get out the game. They say that change is good. It's a lot of stress in the hood. And I know if you could, you would. Get out the game, but you stuck in that time. Wet a nigga in public like Shine. For a witness to drop a dime. For self-defense, do or die. Celebs doing time. Mike Vick on the chow line. Even Kobe, Jason Williams, Gage, kick like Shinobi. Little Kim for perjury. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? Let's go. When it's late night, make sure it's packed tight. And when you take those flights, never eye the Jake in sight. And shake them fuckers when they dead to right. Making a fifth go rumble. Because of stick of trouble. Blasting your gap for a cat, for in fact, for some crap that don't involve you. For some dudes that don't love you, all they wanna do is pawn you until you go down. And don't do shit for you when you lock down, or even when you touch down. But they tell you to go to the pound. The same block that gave you a pound. Years in the pen, now you living again. What mind state are you in? When you back it for 10, and you was just waiting for a teen to come home to be living again. Entrapment should be a sin. The way they reel us in, will roll us to a revolving door to bring us in. This shit is insane. The game is insane. The game will fuck with your brain. That's why I'm out the game. Yeah. Just get out the game, man. I know they told y'all there's only 2 ways out. Jail and dead. Nah, just get out, nigga. Just get out, man. It's easy. Just walk away, nigga. If they care about you, they'll let you go. If you in the game and you want to go and get a better life, and they won't let you walk away, what do that say? Get out the game, nigga. You want to sleep easy, nigga? Look at these rap niggas, nigga. You want to be the next rapper, trapper, clapper, federal indictment rapper, huh? I keep telling y'all niggas, man, get out the game, man. Joke no joke. Grego, you already know. The beast is chemical, baby. That's why I'm out the game. Stay the hell. Don't follow those cats. The niggas that be on the gram. Tell them, boy, what they doing. Choke, no joke. You know what it is. Yo, y'all niggas better stay DL. Down low. Stop flossing, man. You just want them to just come and get you? Learn from our mistakes, man. That's what this is about. Learn from mistakes. Choke, no joke. Let's go. You already know. Make it low, let's go. My aim was enlightened, drop jewels on you. You thinking I'm jealous, I ain't got cheddar like you. I'm the dude to a game, you got school. Was a local cat, snatch you when I made moves. I'm paranoid and preaching, you was sleeping. Knew you was sneak deep and couldn't see us beefing. Learn from mistake, don't show I got cake. Impress a nigga to rob me, bitch seal my fate. Get knocked by the feds, lay up for about 8. Ass so busy flossing, ain't thinking about Jake. Loose, yapping, they wiretapping, videotaping, your ways in action. Front like time's hard, 2-door garage, ice like Liberage, with no damn jaw, without a reasonable doubt. You think you Jay-Z with your platinum jewelry, he got a job, B. You shining on doctors with 4 degrees, laughing cause I'm broke on the streets. Stay DL, BDL is out. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL is out. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL is out. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Shh, let's go. For beef, we not dolo. For cash, you go solo. Thought I was your man, shot me down like Manolo. Thought I was your partner when you played me was whack. No niggas dust that I wouldn't flip like that. What gives? See your man struggle while you live? That's some shit. Struggling, give you the kicks. Used to stick for gooses. Warm when we pump deuces. Break night in the jacks, trying to see millions like Brewster. You don't act like you used to. I'm the dude. When niggas was friends, like yo, Joe, come through. I wet you like McClain for those who claim to be pain. The game of death, that's what you get when got game. Ill with automatics, we're never static. You carry at niggas, put one in your cabbage. Fear, don't have it, you fill me with laughter. the doctor, the math for master. Say DL, BDL is L. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Say DL, BDL is L. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Say DL, BDL is L. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Nigga, y'all loud, louder than the weed, nigga. Thinking with your pockets, caught the ice locket. She's somewhere in Houston, you blew like a rocket. Her seed was bait, through the line she caught it. Gave her all that loot, she couldn't afford it. Frontin' to them bitches, y'all feeling him. Blue puff in your face, daddy, all about Benjamin. Remember me, I'm your friend to the end. Like Chucky, used to slay bitches like Buffy. Thinking why they cuff me, think of the luxuries you had. In the cell with other willies, you brag. I push the big Benz with 20-year trims. When in the club, Chris for all my men. Sitting across the bar, what's up, star? Back to reality, you back in bars. You chose not to listen, had the H-class blizzard. Knew the rules of the game, played yourself out position. Stay DL, BDL is L. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL is L. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL is L. You ain't DL when your name ring bells.
Yo, son, yo. Son, that son is me, yo.
I see.
You ain't noticed me, yo.
I see.
All this diamonds and stuff, yo.
How can I
Fat
not?
diamond ring I got, yo. Yo, what you talking about, yo?
No,
Diamonds, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I got $35,000 on me right now.
Joke out here in DR. My man Delvin. See him?
Yeah. In Dominican Republic.
Alright?
Yeah.
We here. Yeah. Joke, no joke. Primo, you ain't want to give me no beat, so I'm stealing one. Take it personal. You know you my guy, Primo, love you. You gonna give me a beat after this one. I never thought that you would cry me, go against me, and backstab me. Third eye is strong, word is bond. Put you on the fakes, and now you won. I gave you support, and you play me. For those who play with butt, yeah, I'm talking Breakfast Club, Revolt, whatever. All I know is birds of a feather. Hang with those that they hate. Once the realness, now you fake, and I see through you. What you gonna do when they book you and your Duke shoot? I know you think I'm expose you. This ain't no threat, take it personal. Choke, no joke. 2023, it's all me. You hear me? 2023 is all me. They say, why I don't come around the game? Cause all y'all dudes undercover gay. And I don't play those fucking games. Yo, stop the track, I'm fucking Slay. Rest in peace, K Slay, man. Let's get to the next one.
Choke, no joke, you already know. I'll catch y'all on the AM. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Make sure y'all get y'all notifications. But most importantly, come to the new channel, all right? Joke, no joke, the Content King. Make sure y'all subscribe, all right? I'll catch y'all on the AM. You know what it is. We out. Peace and love. Love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.